Sorry. Hi guys, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. I post Monday through Saturday, and today in this video I'm going to do my top 10 crochet mistakes. Now, I don't really crochet as often as when I first started, like when I was like 11 years old, but I do it every once in a while just for practice because I like how the stitches look and everything. And even though I'm still not very good at it, I'm still kind of practicing and getting a little bit better. The more I practice, the better I'm going to get. And so I'm doing a top 10 crochet mistakes, excuse me. Funny wording, sorry. So I'm going to do a top 10 crochet mistakes. Now these are pretty common crochet mistakes that a bunch of beginners make, and these are the common mistakes that I made when I first started crocheting and stuff like that. And I hear these are very common beginner mistakes, or if you're a beginner crocheter. So I'm going to get started. And if you guys know any other crochet mistakes that I've left out, let me know down in the comments below. So I'm going to get started. So number one on my list would be crooked rows. Now this was my most common mistake. So in crocheting, your rows are supposed to end up straight down like this, and sometimes if you don't pay attention, your rows could end up this way. So when I first started crocheting, my rows ended up like this, like a trapezoid shape rather than completely straight down like they were supposed to be. And I couldn't figure out why my rows were so crooked. Like, even though I kept doing it, I couldn't understand why my rows were so crooked, even though I would crochet and stuff like that. But I always forget when you're crocheting, it kind of subtracts stitches. When you crochet, like, if you turn a certain chain, you can so let's say you chain 20, and then excuse me. I do apologize, that was my wallflower alarm. So yeah, so my rows would end up crooked instead of straight, and I couldn't understand why at first, but then I was watching videos on crocheting, and it turns out that I was supposed to chain one in the beginning of the row, which would keep my rows straight, and my rows would end up like this because I would turn, but I'd forget to chain, because when you crochet and you turn, you're subtracting stitches, like when you turn, you subtract a stitch, and you subtract. So basically when you crochet down a row, you subtract stitches. Sorry, this is taking me so long to explain, but I hope it's making sense. So you have, let's say you chain 20 and then you go in single crochet, but you only single crochet 19. And then you crochet back and you crochet only 18 because it subtracts stitches when you crochet, when you make your next row. My rows would just end up so crooked because I'd be subtracting stitches and I didn't even realize I was subtracting stitches. And again, the reason why my rows were ending up this way when they're supposed to be straight down like this is because I didn't chain one at the beginning of the row, because I was supposed to chain one so then I had the same amount of number of stitches. And again, that's the important part of crocheting, is counting your stitches. Number two on my list has to be tight tension. So basically when you crochet, you're supposed to have a straight chain. Your chain's supposed to be straight, okay, completely straight, not twisted or turning. And the reason, even though I would crochet, my chain would end up really twisted, and I found out it was because I kept crocheting it because I crocheted them too tight. I would crochet them, I would like hold my yarn so tight that I wouldn't let it glide through my fingers like I would normally be supposed to do, is because I would keep it tight around my finger so then the yarn wouldn't slip out of my finger, and I would crochet so tight that I couldn't even get my tension would be so tight that it'd be hard to get my hook through the next little loops and stuff like that, and it'd be so tight, and my chain would end up curling, which it's not supposed to, is because again my tension was so tight. Number three on my list would have to be using the wrong hook size. Now this is when I first started experiment with crocheting. Whenever I would crochet, I would just use a basic size H hook. Let me get a size H hook for you, for example. If I can find one. So this is a size H hook. So Sorry, you can't see that. This is a size H hook, so I'd be using a size H hook all the time when I'd be using a size, when I was supposed to be using a size smaller hook or larger, and my stitches still ended up really small or large due to the fact that I would not read the pattern and not understand that I was supposed to be, saying that my thing was smaller or bigger than it was supposed to, because I didn't understand that I was supposed to be using a certain hook size with a certain project. And it's the same with knitting. When you knit something, you're supposed to use like a certain yarn, a certain size needle for the project, so then the project will end up bigger or smaller like it's supposed to. Number 3 on my list, excuse me, that was number 3. Number 4 on my list would have to be using the wrong yarn. So sometimes when I'd be crocheting, I'd be only using worsted weight yarn when I was supposed to use like a bulky yarn, like this. This is kind of bulky, and I would, my projects would end up smaller or bigger than they were supposed to, because I would use the wrong yarn along with the wrong hook, and I really couldn't, this was like my first attempt to crochet, and this was my first time reading patterns, so I didn't understand how to read patterns at the time due to the fact I was still learning and everything. Again, nobody's perfect when it comes to doing a project. When I would be crocheting with the same size hook and the same type of yarn, I wouldn't even like look at the instructions and pay attention to what weight yarn I was supposed to use or size crochet hook I was supposed to use, due to the fact I was still learning and I was a beginner at the time. It was just really hard for me to understand that part. And again, my disabilities, once I'm shown in a certain way, I'm stuck with it. I just didn't know how to use different hook sizes with I didn't know you could use different hook sizes with different yarns. So that's the way it was with me. Number 5 on my list had to be my circles looking more like bowls instead of flat. So when I started crocheting, I would just like look at the pictures and stuff, and then I'd just follow along with the pictures. But the only downfall was I didn't see, whenever I was crocheting, I would be just crocheting a single crochet all the way around, and then my project would end up like a bowl instead of being flatly round, like round and flat like it was supposed, like the coaster being round and flat like it was supposed to. And again, that was my first time crocheting, and I didn't know how to read patterns at the time. Because like I didn't know I was supposed to single or double crochet in one stitch twice, or like I didn't see I was supposed to do single crochet a certain amount of times. I just didn't even understand I was supposed to do that. Number 6 on my list had to be not reading a pattern correctly. So this was when I first started crocheting. I didn't really know how to read patterns very well. I didn't understand like what stitches I was supposed to do. I didn't really, I would just do the same like single crochet constantly, because that was what I was comfortable with, and that's the way I was taught to crochet. I didn't know there were like other stitches at the time to crochet. So I'd be doing a single crochet when it required a double crochet. And here's a quick fun fact. So double crochet is what you call single crochet in England. I'm sure for a lot of my UK subscribers you're very familiar with that. Those who are subscribed to my channel and you crochet, if you crochet and you live in the UK, okay, wow, that rhymed weird. So if you crochet and you live in the UK, that's what they call single crochet is double crochet. So I hope I don't confuse any of my UK subscribers or my UK viewers, just so you guys know. No, sorry. Alright, yeah, so yeah, I would be getting biscuits, darn it, sorry. Yeah, and I'd be like just not following the chains right, and stuff. So yeah. Yeah, so that's basically what I would do, is I'd just like get my pattern screwed up. Yep. So number 7 on my list had to be chains and single crochet. Screwed up. So when I first started crocheting, I didn't I didn't understand the meaning of chain 2 like I thought single crochet was a chain, so I got kind of confused confused. So I didn't know single crochet was an actual crochet stitch besides just the chain. And because like when I'd be looking at patterns, I'd be like thinking, oh, this is a single crochet like a chain. And I didn't see the chain 10 or chain 3. I didn't see I was supposed to do that to start my project. I would just like follow the single crochet and thinking it was the right thing, but it actually wasn't. I actually got screwed up because like I didn't know that's how a pattern worked at the time, because again I was a beginner and we all learn from our mistakes, and I didn't learn from my mistakes till later. Number 8 on my list would have to be my rounds looking curled up. So this is the reason my rounds would look so curled up was because I'd like do 2 single crochets in every stitch all the way around instead of like following the pattern like I was supposed to, because I wasn't paying attention to the pattern. Again, I didn't know how to read patterns at that time because I was still learning how to crochet. And my rounds would end up all wavy and bunched up like this together instead of like perfectly flat like around like this. They would end up all wavy and bunched up like that, was because I would just do 2 single crochets in each chain. And at the time I was still learning how to read patterns. I didn't understand how to read patterns. Number 9 on my list had to be getting double crochet and half double crochet mixed up. So or in England, again, this is called half treble and half treble, and then treble crochet. So the reason I would get single crochets double crochet and half double crochet screwed up was because I would do yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, and I'd have 3 loops, and then I would pull them through all 3, and I thought that was a double crochet. And the half double, but that actually is a half double crochet or half treble for my UK subscribers. And then I'd mistake a half double crochet with the double crochet, which is yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So I get that. I actually thought that was called a half double crochet. I think it's because they have the double in it. So when I first started crocheting, I think it's because they're kind of the reason they're kind of the same to me is because they each have 3 loops on the hook, but I didn't know was the half double was pull through all 3, and then double was pull through 2 and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So I got kind of confused because they both had double in it, so that's what I got screwed up with. Number 10 on my list had to be not weaving in ends. So this time I didn't understand I was supposed to weave in my ends. Like I would be cutting off all like the yarn ends from my projects and everything constantly. Like I'd constantly be cutting off all the yarn ends due to the fact I didn't know I was supposed to weave them in, and because I cut my yarn ends so short, I didn't realize I was supposed to be leaving the ends long enough to weave in at the time, because I just cutting them off, and I wouldn't leave enough to weave in, and then my projects would get undone completely. Not that they all came undone completely, but I just didn't realize they could end up coming undone if I did that. Okay, so those are my top 10 crochet mistakes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post Monday through Saturday. I'm sorry this video was so long, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post Monday through Saturday, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!